And welcome back to ABC13 Weather Now. We're back with Houston Chronicle meteorologist Justin Ballard, and we're going to dive right into why fall hasn't arrived.
I know. It's been frustrating. We were
really
trying
has.
to hurry fall along by wearing cooler jewel tone colors. It's just not going to work.
It's not going to work. So we're going to talk about why this October has been so warm. But interestingly enough, it's not just Texas. Much of the country is dealing with this October heat.
I mean, misery loves company, right?
Right,
so that makes me feel a little bit better. Part of the reason we've got this going on is, at least part of the reason, Omega block. Now, we've talked about this pattern before, May to be exact. We had a lot of storms courtesy of this Omega block. A little different situation happening this go round. So again, it's called an Omega block because it resembles the Greek letter omega, but really it's characterized by high pressure with two lobes of low pressure on either side of that high. And I'll show that here in just a second. But for the time being, it's a very stagnant sort of weather pattern that we find ourselves in, again, with a lot of other parts of the country.
It is. And it's interesting that you brought up the last time we were in an Omega block, we had a stormy weather pattern. It was so relentless. On the flip side, this time it's relentlessly warm, and we're stuck in this pattern. So what gives this pattern, the Omega block, to be so not moving, as we would say?
Well, the biggest issue with Omega block pattern, or blocking patterns just generally, because there's others besides Omega that we won't be getting into right now, but they're in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and it takes a lot to really kind of get those broken down. And the footprint of this Omega pattern, really, you can see it very visibly across the central part of the United States. Now, 52 in Bismarck, 55 in Minneapolis, that probably feels lovely here.
Right.
But even there, that is still well above normal for this time of year. 81 in Omaha in mid-October.
That's pretty warm.
It is
very warm.
62 in Chicago, a little cooler there, 84 in St. Louis. But I mean, even still, some of these cities have seen some of their warmest starts to October. And you see that, again, kind of footprint of that high pressure with two low pressures on the side. Again, this isn't necessarily a textbook Omega blocking pattern, but it is certainly resembling of that Omega character there that you see.
Right, and this, again, to your point, every time we get blocking patterns, it doesn't mean we're going to see the exact same kinds of weather that we have. And we're not the only ones dealing with the heat. We talked about some areas that are pretty warm right now, so I'm going to step aside and move closer to you as we discuss some of this.
I mean, Chicago, your home city.
It was 90 when we went to the pumpkin farm, okay? Like, it was very warm when I was there in early October.
In Houston for
I know.
Kansas City, 70 degrees. Now, this is average temperatures between the 1st and the 14th. That's their first warmest, their single warmest October, or at least start to October on record. Chicago, 65. St. Louis 70, those are the second warmest, and then Des Moines and Minneapolis 66, 62, fourth warmest. Again, this is a non-comprehensive list, right? There's many other cities that have seen top 5 warmest. I just picked a couple that tickled my fancy.
Well, and we're also so warm too. So, I mean, and it feels like when we talk about these transition seasons, right? In the spring, in the fall, we're starting to see kind of summer bleed into both of them.
We really are. There is certainly kind of a climate footprint here when we're talking about October heat, and then getting into the flip side of that, springtime kind of heat getting earlier and earlier. Now, again, the Omega block's not the only reason we're dealing with this here across the central part of the United States.
Right, let's talk about that.
So, I mean, if you're looking at sea surface temperatures, we talk a lot about sea surface temperatures when it comes to La Nina, El Nino, and you can even see La Nina there kind of on your screen towards the very bottom.
Yeah, the cooler part.
Eastern Pacific and the blue shades, but then you hop over to the Northern Pacific and you're talking record marine heat wave ongoing. So all of this is really tied in to what's going on, not just locally here in Houston and Texas more broadly, but even across the central United States, even deep into Canada. Yeah,
the teleconnection patterns, it's all connected across the country. So when we're talking about, you know, the hot weather we have, are there any signs you see right now that this is going to ease? I know forecast-wise we're keeping it above normal here for the next 2 weeks.
I mean, over the next 2 weeks, certainly not. But I mean, obviously it does take time. It can take weeks for these patterns. Once they set up, it can take weeks for them to break down. This actually started, the Omega blocking pattern started in mid-September. So it's been already about 4 weeks that this has been ongoing, and it's likely going to last a little bit longer.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Sad to say.
Awesome. It's going to be still warm. No, but we always love having your extra analysis that we can't get to in our forecast here on ABC13 Weather Now. So thanks so much for joining us, Justin. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you.